back in the witch trial days, during the Salem witch trials, there was a man, I don't know what his name was. He walks into somebody, the government, goes up to the government and says that he's a witch hunter. So they hired him on. He said he was an expert. He probably didn't know anything. But because he said he was an expert and he called himself an expert, all of a sudden, that made him an expert. He came up with all kinds of stupid shit, ran his mouth. Next thing you know, a whole bunch of people wind up dead. It's one way to get away with killing a bunch of people, and God knows what he might have done to those people. I mean, he might have raped them all and wanted to get away with it, so decided that this was a easy way to fool the government into, getting rid of his victims. Point is he called himself an expert, but he really didn't know jack, and that was obviously proven later on. We've all learned about that. So, you've got yourself a serial killer, a band of them actually, a group of them, and pedophiles, and all of a sudden they became experts. I'm not exactly sure on what they became experts on. Excuse me. It sure as hell ain't on me. Or my kids, or society, or anything else. Seems to me like the only thing they're experts on is creating chaos, and famine, and starvation, and abuse, and oppression. And I'm selling it to you on a silver platter, and for whatever reason it is, you hop on board. They have sold you things that are just so stupid. Literally stupid. I mean, dumb. Flat out dumb. Okay? They have sold people on things that are flat out dumb. They have gotten people to literally ingest semen and give engage in sex acts with the thought in mind, or the lie in mind, that that was going to give them mystical, magical powers. They have gotten men to rape for the same reason. I don't see anybody walking around with mystical, magical powers, do you? No. So I wonder when you're going to figure it out, that you're listening to someone who literally gets off on fooling you, and while he's doing so, he's actually laughing at you. Okay? He's not an expert on much anything other than trying to stay out of jail. That's about all he's an expert on, really. Killing, raping, stealing other people's kids, maybe someday yours, and staying out of jail for what he's done. He's a terrorist, and he taught people how to kill. And that works to his benefit because, he's got his hands in insurance. And people that you're targeting for him on his behalf happen to be his victims, and the victims of his whatever. So you're ruining your life and handing it over to him, making yourself into his victim on your own, off lies that we're told, and stories and fairy tales, and for the dumbest and stupidest reasons I've ever heard of in my entire life, and I'm pretty sure most people would agree. So what drives me nuts is that what drives me nuts is that for whatever reason it is, you're too fucking stupid to stop. The guy's killing you. He's poisoning the shit out of you and making you sick. He's got his buddies in the news feeding you propaganda. He's got his buddies that he sold policies to, keeping you in your house. And you just sit there and take it. And you keep on taking it. And taking it, and taking it, and taking it, and taking it some more. And you keep hopping on board. And you don't seem to give a shit that someday, matter of fact, in a lot of cases, considering what he said he was doing, right now, he's darkening your door too. And I don't know why that is. Are you that overcome with greed? Or are you just that dumb that you're willing to just lay down and die for a piece of shit serial killer? Or a band of them? You're not going to stand up, you're not going to do the right thing. You don't think that he'll come rape your kids or one of them won't? You don't think that they'll come take your kids away? You don't think that you're being poisoned? You don't think you're being starved? You don't think so, huh? Alright, let me explain something to you. All walks of life, okay, means all walks of life. That means people who work in the food factories. That means people who work as lawyers. That means people who work as cops. That means people who work as judges. That means people who work at the farms. That means people who are supposed to protect those waters. Okay? Alright? So, you're thinking, well, I don't have a water filtration canister. It's not affecting me. You don't think so, huh? You ever hear of that thing called a boat? Have you ever heard of a whole lot of cash? Okay. A whole lot of cash. Did you happen to know that there are lots of ways to poison someone with a lot of different things? So you don't think it's affecting you. But if he's got assholes working in the hotel that you're staying in, you don't think your hotel's going to get broken into, your room? You don't think that your house could get broken into and they couldn't dust it with poison? Put it all over your bed? You don't think so, huh? You don't think that they couldn't put it in your sugar that you buy at the store? You don't think they could be putting it in that water bottle that you're drinking out of? You don't think so? Thought wrong. Okay? You don't think that it could be in the ingredients when you go to the restaurant to eat? You don't think so? You don't think some asshole in that kitchen where you bought that food from could be hitting you that way? You don't think so, huh? You don't? Are you dumb? Are you ready to listen to me yet? Or are you just going to keep going on going, no. Because I'm going to be honest with you. This is why I'm so pissed off. Because I'm watching the shit happening. I'm sitting here nailing them myself. And then I go and I tell. And you people act like there's absolutely nothing inside this cranium. So either you're in on it, you're in agreement with it, or you're incredibly fucking asleep or dumb. Okay? So I mean, those are my answers here. Either you are in agreement or you're incredibly dumb. Alright? You need to think. You're not thinking. You're not thinking. You know what you're doing? You're poo-pooing everything away. And poo-pooing everything away is going to give you poo-poo. Yeah. We have a so-called virus and there's a run on toilet paper. There's a run on toilet paper. There's people who are hallucinating. There's little kids, okay? There's babies. What did they do to you? Is that how sick in the head you are? Seriously, that's how sick and disgusting and twisted you are. You're gonna sit there and poison little infants? Could you tell me why? Could you tell me what that baby did other than be born? Could you tell me why you don't care? Could you tell me why you refuse to do the right thing? Could you tell me if you're human or not? Because I don't think you are. And that is exactly why I don't. You have a test for everything on this planet. They can find out any substance that's inside that body. There's absolutely no reason for this. Other than you're sick in the head. Flat out sick in the head. Which means you don't deserve the job that you have. You should not be answering that telephone. Okay? You don't deserve that badge. You don't deserve the family or the people that are around you. You don't deserve those kids. You don't deserve that husband or that wife. And you know why? Because they don't deserve you. Because you're sick in the head. You think this shit's okay. You think it's absolutely normal. It's normal, huh? Since when did this become normal? You people think it's normal. You think it's acceptable. All of a sudden it's socially acceptable out of the clear fucking blue sky to put somebody in a job position that's gonna teach little kids to masturbate. You want to make somebody in charge of educating little people so they could teach them to masturbate at 5 years old. And you don't think you're sick in the head? You don't think there's something wrong with you? You don't think that anyone sees what you're up to and what you got in mind? May I ask you a question? Do I need to go there and shake the shit out of you or beat the fuck out of you? Which one? Since when is any of this kind of thing okay? Since when is this socially acceptable? All of a sudden it's socially acceptable to put basically a pedophile in charge of teaching small children. All of a sudden it's socially acceptable to poison the shit out of everyone. All of a sudden, it is socially acceptable to break every law in the book. To not have or hold one single moral, one single value, one single anything. It's just no holds barred, do whatever the fuck you want. No one gives a shit. You want to go out and rape, rob, kill, and be a pedophile and a serial, you just go right ahead. Nobody's gonna say boo-hi or shit about it. Since when? Since when? Could you tell me what's wrong with you? Can you tell me who raised you? Can you tell me why and how you have become so unbelievably dumb and complacent? Can you tell me why it is you want there to be a bunch of serial killers killing you? And you don't want to live? You don't want to stand up? You just want to lay down and die? And you know what? How about this? If that's really what you want, can you do the rest of us who don't want to deal with them a favor? And go buy yourself a bucket of poison or go buy yourself a gun and blow your own fucking head off so the rest of us can live normal, and I do mean normal, healthy, productive lives without you a part of it or them? Because there's all these people walking around and they didn't do nothing wrong. And they don't deserve you. And they don't deserve this. And, well, none of you, absolutely none of you, are worthy or deserve me. Or my kids.